Okay, thank you. First of all, I would like to say thank you for the better opportunity for me to share with you about the digital transformation for the retailers. Both of traditional retailers and also for the modern retailers, actually right now I'm struggling for the changing of the business landscape. So they want to try what is the most fit in the better condition when they are changing, when there is a changing in business landscape. However, eventually there is an oversimplified question about the digital transformation for the retailer. This question is about, do we stay in the offline mode, or how do we doing a better way in the online mode? This is an oversimplify about the digital transformation for the retailer itself. So I would like to invite you all in this 20 minutes for the next. There is a three part that I would like to share with you about what actually happening now in the retail industry. And the second one is about what is the digital retail technology and business model. It comprises of what is the key action of the digital transformation itself, and how the technology driven that shape the digital commerce in the next couple of years. And after that, I would like to briefly about the overview about the business model for digital advantage, and what is actually the digital technology also push this retail industry, and also the very important thing is about the customer experience itself. And finally, I would like to introduce some of the initiative from the telecom for the digital retail transformation. This is about the online commerce and also for the mobility, and as well as the Internet of Things that also will shape the revolution of the industry in retail, and as well as the big data, because a lot of issues, a lot of key challenges that we should overcome with the technology in the big data, such as machine learning, artificial intelligence. And finally, we also are preparing the next couple of months in these years to launch what we are preparing in the platform of ER and VR. So let's take a look about the evolution of retail itself. Actually, right now we are entering in the retail 4.0. It's mean actually this industry is quite old. We are starting for even on the more than 1 century, started in the 20th century about the retail 1.0. After that, we are entering in retail. There is such kind of hypermart, superstore, and so on. And I think start from the 2010, we are entering for the retail 3.0. This is actually rise of the e-commerce. And finally, 2 years ago, we are entering for the retail 4.0. It's characterized by the multi-channel, because retail is not can only depend on one channel. So we see right now a lot of retailers going in have the multi-channel and also the omni-channel. And also we are right now facing the click and collect, scan and go, and more with that we can mention about the retail 4.0. The important thing is not only how the retailer shape themselves about how actually they have to do and facing in quite very dynamic changing in this business landscape. But we should also have another perspective about the customer's journey, because a lot of changing actually in the customer's journey itself. Just for example, I would like to show a little bit about the 4 steps of their journey in this perspective of the customer itself. The first one is about the engagement, because I think we have started 3 or 2 years ago about how we attract more about there is an intensive engagement from the provider, I mean the retailers. So engagement is one of part of the customer journey that shape the future of the retail industry itself, not from the technology perspective, but the changing of the customer's behaviors. And the second one is about the product discovery. This is another way how we find the product that we need, the product that we want, but because there is another journey for the customers. So that's why how the customer discover their product that they want, also the changings. So we can see 1 or 2 years later when the IoTs will have a massive adoption in the market, a lot of things that how the customers find out their product is quite changing than we can imagine right now. And the third part is about the journey of the purchasing. This is a kind of journey that how actually the customer will make the purchase for the goods or product that they want. So that's why there is a lot of things that we should pay attention about how the customer actually make a purchase after they have engaged by the the provider, after they try to find out the product and they do the purchase. So you can imagine if we can provide the multi-channel or the true omni-channel that will become mainstream in the industry. And the other hand is about the digital wallets. So I think the last years when the authority make more engaged with the fintech, so a lot of things that right now are built by the startup, how they shape the digital wallets in the future. And also, there is such kind of the technology like the near-field communication, the contactless payment also will shape, because this is a part of how to adapt the behavior that already changed in the customer perspective. The most important thing also is about the post-purchase. I think we all right now, every day when we are doing the e-commerce, are doing buy online, also involved in the part of this journey. Just for example, we invite to make a review what we already purchased for the services or for the goods, such kind of product. So that's why the post-purchase is also very important in the journey of the customers, because this is an interplay between the provider that need the feedback and also how actually the customers wants to give the feedback to the provider. So this is a quite mutual benefit between a provider and also the customer itself. So let's look about the second part of my presentation here is about the key action on digital transformation. This is simple framework. The simple framework is a part, there is a 4 part. The first one is about how we focus in investment itself, because a lot of things that we have to invest in technology as well as in people, of course. But what is the main focus in the retail industry itself. Because if you are not in focus in the investments, it is quite difficult for us to adapt the change very rapidly right now. And the second one is about the engage, how we engage with the internally in our organization. Because, you know, the readiness of the retailer itself is quite different. The maturity level and each retailer is quite different. Start from the SMEs that is a very low maturity for the digital transformation until the e-commerce that already have a lot of preparation about the digital transformation itself. So engagement in the internal organization that we can identify what actually will different operation in the organization is quite challenging itself. The third part is about how we sustain the transformation itself, because you can imagine from the outside a lot of change that we should respond, that we have to adapt, but how do we fulfill the gap internally, because, you know, a lot of new skill that have to acquire by our people in the internal organization. So in the final of this digital transformation actually come from how we respond with the digital challenge itself, because there is a lot of challenge, there is a lot of opportunity, but how we select and how we make the prioritization about the digital challenge itself. So the keyword is here is about not the technology itself, but how actually we can give the shopping experience. This is quite different, so that's why at the very beginning I make a stress point about this is not about the technology itself, but how actually we also put some consideration for the customer's perspective. It means how actually the customers have a shopping experience that we can provide it in the very different way that the customer right now already experience with another providers. So what about the technology itself that also have an important part of this kind of the retail industry itself? I divide into three parts, and there is 6 major technology trends that will shape in the future of retail industry itself. The second part is about, the first part is about the technology itself. It's come from the platform, the ecosystem, and also the integrations. The 3 keywords here from the technology part is very important for us to understand. It is about how we preparing the online commerce. It's been the omni-channel. We do both about the offline and online, even the physical store, because this is following the customer journey actually. And the second part is about the customer experience, because like I said before, how we can provide the personalization about this customer experience, and how we can provide the personalized searching that fit with the personalization of our customers, and finally also the customer journey itself, how we have to adapt time by time the changing of the customer behavior when they are purchasing of the product. I will give you a little more about this for the next couple of slides about this customer experience itself. And the last part of the technology is about the emerging trends, because you know, the technology is always changing time by time. So we have to consider and how to adapt and make a rapid adoption about this technology trend. Just for example, the connected device, Internet of Things, the machine learning and the big data, as well as on the ER and the virtual reality that I will mention in the next couple of slides. This is the first thing that how the technology shape and the industry, the retail industry in this couple of years. The first of the online commerce, this is not the how we make the online, but how actually we make the seamless shopping experience. This is more important than how tomorrow we make online of our product. But the challenge is how we create a seamless shopping experience across the channel. Because right now the millennial actually, they don't care about this is online or offline, but how they can easily to access, even in the offline, online, our services. So we can see right now if we are doing for the omni-channel, there is a lot of benefit that we can get. This is some of the survey results that if we are doing in both about the offline and online, so it's mean we can have possibility to in the 22% of the less bounce rate, for example. And also we have opportunity to have the 120% for the increase the feedback if we have both of the online or offline mode in the kind of the retail retail services. So the keyword is here is about the omni-channel. So yes, we also serve our customer in the online services, but also have a possibility to serve our customers in the offline services, even the physical shop. The second one is about the mobility, because shopping is no longer in the store activity only, but whenever we are doing activity, it has to be start from the mobile. So that's why the mobile is everything. If we are talking about the retail industry itself. So that's why the smartphone will be the major shopping channel, and it is have the opportunity 66% spending if the customer using the mobile, and even we have an opportunity that 14% of the consumer would pay with mobile rather than the customer choose the credit card. Again, actually, the customers actually don't care about the buzzword like the omni, because this is the retailer perspective. The consumer actually they care is about being able to purchase the product or services they are looking for on their own time from anywhere and any device. This is actually the customer pay attention about what actually they are doing about the purchasing of the product. This is quite a little bit complex about the Internet of Things that also give the revolutionary the retail industry in the next couple of years. But I want to make the simple explanation about there is a three part about the IoT itself, because the IoT give us the opportunity in the three critical issues. The first about improving the customer experience, and the second one is about how we have a possibility to optimize supply chain the operations. This is not only for the customers, but also how we have possibility to improve our internal processes. And in the retail industry, the supply chain is very important one. And finally, the IoT also have possibility as a new channel and also for the new revenue stream. This is about the Internet of Things that right now is quite happening and a lot of adoption about the Internet of Things itself. So what about the big data? How we do the analytics after we are doing the online, we are doing the purchasing, we are doing the payment, we are doing the supply chains movement, a lot of changing about the internal, a lot of data that actually we can use as a part of analytics itself. So the important thing for the big data itself, it is how we can make more understand the solver through the machine learning. A lot of the data that actually we can catch up in some resources that we can collect and we can process. So that's why the data is the new oil in the retail industry. It is about how we have a possibility to the personal commerce and etc. So I want to speed up because the time is up. This is about the ER and VR. So this is another thing that we should consider about the customer experience. There is a 12 idea how we how we can improve our customer experience. And also this is the business models and how we increase the retailer in the digital technology. And this is the part of my presentation about the telecom initiative. So this is what we already built 2 years ago about the Belanja.com for the e-commerce. And this is what is the initiative from the telecom about a payment model. We start e-money, digital wallets, the payment, internet payment gateway, and so on, and the part of the telecom initiative and the payment itself. And this is a payment platform. We're preparing the mobility also. And this is the IoT that we are preparing. And this is the big data that we also have some services that you can hit in your services. And finally, we're preparing also the virtual reality that we will launch the next couple of years. I think that's all. So it's, I hope it could be, can be inspire you for how we shape industry retails in the future. Thank you.